Hello, friends, and welcome to the Powerful Podcast. I'm your host, AJ McCord. In this podcast, we introduce you to powerful women who are changing the game in and outside of their field of play. These are women's stories, women who happen to be doing things that many of us can only dream of, but the lessons and inspiration they share is universal.
Wheelchair curling is one of those sports in the Paralympics every single time it comes around that develops a cult-like following. And today on the Powerful Podcast, we have somebody who is trying to bring home the first ever Paralympic medal for Team USA in the sport. When Oyuna Uranchimeg came to the US 22 years ago on vacation, she had no idea how much her life was going to change. Injured in a car accident, she found herself paralyzed from the waist down. And this mother from Mongolia had to adapt. She had to figure out how to do life in a way that she'd never anticipated doing before. In this podcast, she talks about the full circle moment of finally putting on that Team USA uniform and realizing how all those times that she showed up for herself were worth it. But she also shared all of the things that she told herself in those moments before the full circle one. All of the ways that she showed up in tiny little detailed nuanced experiences that made it possible for her to be in a position to make Team USA. This episode is about resilience. It's about showing up for yourself and believing in yourself and doing the thing you know is going to make a difference, even when it seems no one is watching, even when it seems the results aren't coming, and why it's worth it, no matter where you end up. I am so excited to be joined now by Oyuna Uranchimeg. She is one of the women who is going to be fighting for Team USA in Italy in just a few weeks now at this point. And Oyuna, I want to start by asking you to describe your sport in its most simplest form.
Hi, very nice to be on the podcast, and thank you for the invite. So wheelchair curling, there's actually two different disciplines now in the Paralympic Games. So I'm one of the team members of the mixed four-person Paralympic curling team. The curling is the winter sport. Well, actually, it's played on the ice. It doesn't have to be in the winter. It's an indoor, mostly played on in indoor ice settings in the curling clubs or in arenas throughout the country in the curling clubs. In the four-person game, there's four players in each team, and then we play 8 ends in wheelchair curling, meaning like going back and forth like 8 rounds, and each player gets to throw 2 stones in one end. So a total of 16 stones for a team in one end, but then obviously you play against other teams. So that would be 32 stones thrown in one end. And I mostly have been playing in a lead position, which is the first person to throw the stones to start the game. So that has been my position most of the time since I joined the national team and also at the Paralympics in 2022 in Beijing. Then in the wheelchair curling, just like also able-bodied curling, I mean, the game strategy and stones and then the ice are exactly the same, except that in the wheelchair curling, we don't sweep for obvious reasons because we can't just get up and sweep. So other than the sweeping part, it's pretty much the same game. Each team take turns and throw the stone, and then at the end, the stone closest to the center of the circle. I mean, we call it house. In curling, the term is a house. So the closest stone to the center of the house gets a point, so scores. So it could be, I don't know, depending on how the game goes, there could be 1 point or multiple points. So anyway, and then you play a total of 8 ends, and then each end you score or don't score. And then at the end, whoever had the most score wins the game. So that's the gist of it. And I'm sure a lot of your listeners probably heard or at least watched some curling, especially during Olympic at times and probably have a little bit idea of what that is. The curling stone, the stone that we glide on the ice, is 42 pounds. So obviously you don't just pick it up and throw, you have to just push it and glide it. So that's basically what this sport is about.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, Oyuna, I want to talk about the Team USA's history in this sport because I know you are trying to rewrite some. Team USA has been to the Paralympics before for wheelchair curling, but still looking for that elusive medal. How have you risen through the ranks of wheelchair Paralympic curling, and what is the team doing to get ready for Milan Cortina?
Yes, so we are, in the last Paralympic Games in 2022, we came in the fifth place out of 12 countries. So we didn't do too bad, but we couldn't get to the podium. So obviously, there was no Paralympic medal for Team USA since this event became a Paralympic event. And every team, every time, when the team goes to Paralympics, that's their main goal. But so far, it hasn't happened yet. But this year, we are really, really hoping and thinking that this is the year that we get to the podium. So at this point, since we didn't have any medal, no matter what color. So anyway, so obviously everybody wants the gold, right? But if it happens that the other two colors would be up for grabs, we would obviously go for that as well. So anyway, and then I think like as a team, like the quality of players are getting better and better each Olympic cycle. The coaches and then the players who have been with the team for a long time, like 3-4 cycles, they've been like saying that this is actually the quality of players are actually getting better and better. It's not only in the Team USA. I think it's everywhere in other countries. They're probably putting a lot of money or funding or investing more into their wheelchair curling program. And then so that gives people to train better and get better and all that stuff. So anyway, I think that's one of the reasons that we are really, really sitting in a good position to really get a medal this time. So
I love that. That's so awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Fingers crossed, because you are doing the work for us. And I know that to be certain because you are a 2-time Paralympian. So getting named to the team again here in 2025, 2026. How did you get introduced to the sport of wheelchair curling?
So I was introduced to wheelchair curling by a friend who happens to be also curler in the recreational curler in one of the local clubs here in Minnesota. By the way, Minnesota is kind of like a curling hub of the country. So there's many good quality curling clubs. That's back in 2016. So he happened to actually see the wheelchair curlers just curling in the club where he played league. So one day he called me up and said, "Okay, I have a surprise for you and you have to come to this place." So I didn't, it was a Saturday, if I remember correctly. So I just kind of reluctantly agreed, like, okay, what is this? And then we drove to Blaine in Minnesota, Blaine. So that's where the Four Seasons Curling Club is. And we pulled up in the parking lot of curling club. And then I'm like, okay, this curling, that's what you were talking about. He talked about it in previously about curling. I didn't know anything about curling before. I had no idea. I've seen obviously clips here and there. I didn't even know there was wheelchair curling. So anyway, we just came into the curling club and there were a bunch of people in a wheelchair in some like Team USA uniforms and things like that. So they were having their training camp in Blaine in the Four Seasons Curling Club. He didn't think that I would just take it so seriously and take it to the Paralympics. So anyway, that's how it happened. And then once I got there, so there was 8. Usually there's like 8 team members in the national team, and then only the 5 of them kind of goes to the World Championships and Paralympics to as a Team USA, and then other three are kind of just training as an alternate. So anyway, all eight of them were there at the time, and then they were very nice. And before I know it, they were inviting me on the ice to try. And so, okay. So I just kind of went in, went along, and then Rusty Schreiber was one of the coaches at the time, and he has kind of taken an interest in kind of like recruiting me into the program. Like they need kind of like a pipeline of people who are interested in and who could be good at. So he actually helped me to like push the stones and then showing me how to do it and all that stuff. And then before I know it, I'm like throwing stones, and it was an incredible experience. So I mean, the first time I actually tried throwing a stone, I really liked it. I enjoyed it, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is really fun. But I didn't, know, if I can actually do it or not. So Rusty was really like I can tell he's like really like interested in recruiting me into the program. And so it's like, oh, if you're really interested in, and if you really keep at it, there's a really good chance you could be in the 2022 Paralympics. I'm like, really? Like this like I thought like making the Olympic or Paralympic team is like a lifelong process or dream, right? So like within 5-6 years, making that is like, oh, okay. So since it's coming out of the national team coach, I kind of took it very seriously. Naively, maybe I thought, oh, maybe I can do this. And I don't know why I had so much confidence in me, but I thought I could do it. So anyway, and then I thought, okay, what do I need to do? And okay, just, tell me what to do. How do I get there? And so anyway, that's how I got introduced to wheelchair curling. And then the first time I pushed the stone, I kind of fell in love with it. And then especially the mention of making a Paralympic team within like 5-6 years is like very appealing to me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna try it. Why not? So
yeah. So I want to go now to that moment where you put Team USA on your back. You make the Paralympic team in 2022, and it was close to 20 years after you'd gotten in a car accident here visiting the States from Mongolia that completely changed your life. I mean, what did you have one of those sort of moments of realization of like, wow, this Team US, like the US is the site of maybe one of the hardest things that has ever happened to me, and now one of the most powerful things that has ever happened to me.
Yes, exactly. So it's a very surreal feeling when you are named to the Team USA the first time. So, it was like during COVID and all that stuff. So we had to get actually to the World B Championship to earn our spot into the Paralympics. So I was part of where we actually got the gold medal at the Bs, which solidified our spot in the Paralympics. And then from that point on, I know, and then we had also World Championship, like a test event in Beijing in 2021 as well. So after the 2021, we were on the fourth place. We played for bronze at that world, but we lost to Russia, and then Russia took the bronze, and we were on the fourth place. Anyway, the team selection kind of happened, but hasn't been officially announced yet. I knew I was going to be part of the team. So even though I knew I'm in, but still kind of didn't sink in. And then when they actually put out the official announcement, like, okay, these are the people who are going to be representing the Team USA in wheelchair curling, and then your name and picture and all that stuff. So once the official announcement came from USA Curling, something hit me. I was like, I don't know, just that was the time that you were kind of like hunkering down so you don't get COVID at all. Like, I think at that time, actually, our number one priority was not to get tested positive.
Yeah.
So that was the main priority. So we didn't get to actually train like we would have if there was no COVID. So I was alone home, and then the announcement came out, and then I was looking at it, and then I'm just like something hit me really hard, like so much emotion kind of rushed through me, and then I cried, even though I knew I was part of the team. But just having that official announcement, I was so overwhelmed with all these emotions, and then like just thinking back where I was that 21 years ago, right? So how my life changed, and I thought that was just the worst thing that can happen to me. But now I'm sitting with this news, and then like everything felt like everything that happened to me, that all the bad things happened to me was leading me up to this moment, right? And then just kind of looking back, like what I've been through, to get here is just, uh, I don't want to say I was proud of myself, but something was like, I think it was worth, all the trouble or all the suffering, all the hardship I went through was well worth if I'm kind of in
Yeah.
this place right now. So that was the feeling, and that night I did not even sleep. I could not even fall asleep. I was so excited, and then just all this emotion kind of rushing through me. And then I wrote an email to Rusty, like a long email, like thanking him, like for basically like he's the one kind of planted this seed of that dream, right? Because if he didn't, if they just say, okay, try this is wheelchair curling, okay, goodbye, then I wouldn't have really like looked at it like some potential for something greater. I would just, okay, cool, I guess people in the wheelchair curl, so goodbye. So anyway, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So he was really, really like selling it and pitching the idea of making the Paralympic team. So, which kind of instilled this new dream in me that, oh, I can do this. And like at my age, I was 42, 43 at the time. So, then that's like, at that age,
Yeah.
nobody had like athletic dreams. But then this came along. It's like, oh, wow. So,
Well,
anyway.
and I think you should be proud of yourself. Like, if you won't say it, I'll say it, because absolutely you should be proud of yourself for the way that you showed up. And I think that so often in life, hard things happen, right? And you're asking yourself the question in the moment, like, what is the purpose of this? Why am I having to go through this? And you went through something incredibly traumatizing to be in the US on a visit, on vacation, and then get into a car accident, end up paralyzed from the waist down. And then if you get this incredible full circle moment 21 years later, but every single moment of those 21 years, you had to show up for yourself. You had to put yourself in the position to be named to Team USA. How did you show up for yourself in those hard moments, in those moments where you're wondering, why is this happening to me? What am I going to get out of this? How am I going to even get through this? How'd you show up for yourself?
Oh, that's very nice of you to say those things, and thank you. So, there's a saying that you don't know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice, right? So, that quote resonates with me a lot. So, what it means for me is I had really no choice. I had a child, and I wasn't dead. And so I had to figure out a way to get through all this, and somebody is depending on me.
Yeah.
So I have to leave, if not for me, leave for this child. Whatever it takes, I had to, go after and then build a life for me so he can have a life that he deserves. So that was one thing that kind of carried me through. So I think you probably have read or whatever some of the articles written about me and how I ended up here and what I've been through. So if I didn't have a child, I don't think I would have a will to really go through all of this trouble. And then, I mean, when this happened, when the accident happened, and I was mentally, I was not in a stable position. It's like you grieving your old self, your old body, and all that stuff. And you lost basically literally half of your body function. And so it's not easy, like just a young woman just running around. And then one day you're tied to a chair and you can't even take care of yourself and can't even go to bathroom on your own and things like that. So you basically lose all the dignity you had before the accident. Yeah. So anyway, it's not a fun thing to go through. And then you get depressed. And then so you kind of like question, okay, what's the purpose of living like this? And so I'm better off dead than being a burden on people. And then just, yeah, this is not a fun way to live. And then I've been through, like initially after my accident, I've been through like all this depressive state, and I've gone through all that stuff. But then once I kind of got over that, so solely focused on getting better, getting my life together, and having a better life for my child's future. And so that obviously leads to me having a good life too. So that's basically what it was. And so, and then once you have that goal, like, okay, you're going to make the life, you don't really have a whole lot of time to just sit down and be sad about your situation, because once you have a goal, you're just so focused on, okay, I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to do this, and I have to get my son here, I have to in order to get him here, I have to get a job, I have to do this. And so you constantly have some kind of goal, and then you're going working towards, and then there's really no time for you to just sit and then be sad and then pity about yourself. So that's probably how kind of I went through it. And not because I guess I'm especially strong person or anything like that. It's just kind of that's how my life situation was, that I have to make sure my child have a good life. And so that was my main driver, I guess, to pull me through everything. And then here I am.
Mission accomplished, Mama, because here you are, a two-time Paralympian getting ready to represent the U.S. again. What is your son's name?
Amra.
So as you're raising him and learning to navigate this brand new life that you never thought was going to be possible, you're navigating it in the US, which is not your home country. You're navigating it without the use of half of your body, which you never thought was possible. What do you think he saw as you were learning to navigate this new life?
I'm not sure what he saw, but I'm sure. He definitely learns, like, what it means to be resilient, and so that's probably one thing he has learned. And I'm sure there are a lot of things he learned. I have to really sit down and talk to him. So anyway, I still tell him, if you actually set a goal and then go after it relentlessly, you're going to accomplish it. So I hope he has learned that. It's not just in my life in general. So this Paralympic journey, the whole Paralympic journey. So I set a goal that I'm going to make the team. And then it just doesn't happen just if you wish for it, right? So you really have to work for it. You have to have a plan and almost step by step list of, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. And then you have every year you have an action plan and all that stuff that you have to stick to it, and then you actually do it, follow through, not just sit there and wish, oh, I wish I can be in the Paralympics. So anyway, so I hope they both I gotta tell you, I also have adopted daughter. So hopefully both of them, have seen what it means to go after your goals and how you actually go for it and to accomplish it. And so I'd like to think that I'm setting a good example for them, but I don't know. So,
I can guarantee
I
it.
don't
I
know.
can
Yeah,
guarantee you're setting a good
I can
example for
guarantee.
them.
But
And
so
I
far, they're
know,
doing pretty good. So they're very good. So I'm very proud of them, of where they are right now, and then happy. So yeah.
yeah, I can guarantee they are just as proud of you as you are of them. What is the thing that as you get ready for this Paralympics in Italy that you are most excited about that is different than your first time around?
Um, I think because my first time was during COVID, I'm really excited to experience like non-COVID normal games. So like with the whole spectacles of like audience and spectators and family and friends and I mean so that's what I'm looking what I'm excited the most about it. And obviously, I mean, excited about this chance again to hopefully get a medal. So that's the exciting prospect as well. So, um, I mean, the excitement is same as it was the first time around.
Yeah.
It just the feeling doesn't get old. I don't think it ever gets old. I mean, no matter how many Olympic or Paralympic you get to go, so the excitement is always the same. So the difference it would be the more like a normal
Yeah.
Olympic Paralympic experience. So that's also I'm the most excited about.
It is such an honor to get a chance to know your story a little bit better, to get to know the woman who is behind the chair, behind the stone that we're going to be watching in Italy in just a few weeks. So before we let you go, I have to ask you, this is the Powerful Podcast, and we are named that because we're all about highlighting powerful women and what they are doing day in and day out, not just in these Olympic and Paralympic years, but I know there were a lot of non-Olympic and Paralympic years that you put in the work, that you made sure you showed up for yourself, for your family every single day. So what does powerful mean to you?
Um, I would say just be consistent and also just stick to your plan no matter what. And always remind yourself about your goals. What are you after? And then uh, just do everything that would get you to your goal. And so I think that's what's most important. And the goal without any action is nothing. It's just a dream. So, and so you have to actually uh, have plan and action. So I think having that consistent action and plan and show up every day and remind yourself about your goal and bigger goal, even if you're tired and if you feel like down or lazy. So just remind yourself about what are you after? Is it worth going after? So if it is worth, then yeah, all the other feelings that you're feeling like, I don't feel like it today or whatever. So they will all be vanished. And you gotta be pulling through that. And before you know it, you will be there.
Next thing you know, you'll be standing there wearing the Team USA for the
Yeah.
Paralympics. We cannot wait to watch you and root you on. Thank you so much for joining us. That reminder is one that is so applicable. And I know for me personally, in this season of life, it's the one that I needed to hear. So thank you for sharing that and for being on the Powerful Podcast. We'll see you in Italy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, go Team USA.
This is a reminder to check us out every Tuesday, everywhere you get your podcasts. And if you really enjoy this and don't want to miss an episode, be sure to hit that subscribe button.